remarks, Republican Illinois Congressman Aaron Schock says that the speaker is indeed right. So what he's saying is that you have to make some progress on this immigration, some type of reform. It will only damage your party later. Is that the gist of what he's saying?
Well, I think, first of all, that's John Boehner in his raw form. I mean, this is a guy who, is pretty direct in what he's talking about. I think he's sharing some frustration that he goes through as being the speaker of a House that has a 15-seat majority. And so if it's not conservatives or moderates or you name the wing of the party.
Well, he was
he's
clear,
got a
I don't know,
tough job.
Congressman, he was clearly mocking them there. And these conservatives, he's are the ones who made him speaker.
Sure, but no, wait a minute now. It's not just conservatives. I'm a conservative member of Congress. It's about people who say, well, gee, I don't want to do this because it's tough. We have serious policy disagreements within our conference. I believe the House of Representatives is exactly the place where immigration reform should take place. Our entire House is elected every 2 years. We're the people closest to the people. And our step-by-step approach, I might add, is now been by President Obama said in December he would support that approach. The Senate bill is dead.
I understand where you're coming from, sir, but to say that the others are against doing so because they think it's tough, they might just think that this stinks, that this plan stinks. So that doesn't mean that they warrant the reaction they got from the speaker. They just think his plan stinks.
Well, the problem with that is there isn't a plan. The reality is it's a step-by-step approach. So the only bill that's actually been introduced and voted on is the border security provision, which passed the Homeland Security, I might add, unanimously. Second up is visa enforcement. Then you deal with the majority leader's bill on the kids who are brought here illegally by their parents.
But aren't they rightly worried? No, I understand, sir. But aren't they rightly worried that we're not going to follow through with this? That if Ronald Reagan could get hoodwinked into signing on to an immigration reform that didn't reform, certainly John Boehner could be.
Well, he may look. I'm not going to speak for him individually, but I will say collectively as a body, I don't plan to vote for any one piece of the bill or each bill individually, if you will, if I don't feel confident that it's a good piece of legislation.
Do you think we're going to get some action then? Or do you think we're going to get some action on immigration in this very truncated legislative year?
Well, I think that the political season right now has made it difficult for us to pass nearly anything. And it's not just immigration reform. The president has refused to endorse his own trade agreement deals because he can't get Democratic members of his own caucus to vote for this stuff in the Democratic primary. So I can go through a whole laundry list of things that aren't happening that should be. I hope we make progress on immigration reform soon because the program's broken. We have a broken government program, and the people best able and capable of fixing broken government are Republicans in the House.
But who's more fractured then? Who's more fractured? I always get the sense that it's mainstream Republicans or conservative Republicans of that Tea Party sect, whatever you want to describe them, and Democrats, the more liberals who are going against the administration. Who has the more divided House?
Well, look, Republicans are far more united, not just on immigration reform. You talk about things like the debt, okay? There's nobody in the Republican Party that thinks we don't have a debt problem. On the Democratic side of the aisle, you got people like Elizabeth Warren who actually wants to increase benefits for programs like Social Security that are already going broke. You have some conservative Democrats who say, well, we need to. So I believe the Republican Party is far more in the House, particularly united, than my colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle. Hands down.
Congressman, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you, sir.
All right, the story.